Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 24th. This week, we are just going to jump right in here and we are going to see what comes up for you here, Gemini. Also, Gemini, make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what is going on for you, Gemini. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I've done most of the readings so far. And what I will say is, like, right off the bat, there is major cycle ending type energy going on here. And pretty much every single sign has had this energy of like a cycle coming to a close or a cycle coming to an end. Like I said, and like I have said to every single other sign, it's like with the Mercury retrograde, and plus we have an eclipse coming up, if you're watching this, before the eclipse, it does not surprise me that there would be this major cycle ending, cycle closing type of energy going on. So for a lot of you, it's like you're ending something. I do get this like more kind of like nostalgic feeling, where it's like I feel like people could be feeling sad in the sense that, maybe the cycle is closing and it's kind of like something, as it's almost like if you have children, it's like when your children grow up, right? It's like they're not small and cute anymore. I'm not saying they're big and ugly, but I'm just saying they're not small and cute and little. And it's like you lose that, that innocence, right? And that's kind of like the ending that I feel here. I feel like saying I'm experiencing this, which is a weird word to use, but I feel like this is something that I'm experiencing personally, and I'm not. So very interesting energy, but it's almost like something is losing its innocence. Of course, this is important because, it's going to lead to growth in your life and all these other things. But you have the Purification card, which has this giant sunflower on it. Sunflowers in the tarot represent the sun. And you have the Queen of Wands, which she always is holding on to a sunflower. So I feel there's like at least the good news here is that there is sun energy in your reading here, so I definitely like to see that. I get kind of like a no BS type of feeling here. I really like this. You have the Queen of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the World here. For some of you, I get this, the best, I don't know the right way to say this, but it's like sometimes I think if someone pushes us too far, we, get to this like very cutting out type of energy where we're just like, I'm ending this situation, right? And I get that for some of you. Some of you, there could be some sadness or disappointments. You have the Five of Cups at the end, but it's like you're cutting something out. And it does look like this could be due to some sort of truth that is coming out. You have the Truth Be Told card and you have the Justice card. So some of you could be kind of like cutting something out here because of some sort of truth. For some of you, I feel if this is involving a person, it's like, look at all the eyes on this Nine of Swords here, Gemini. It's almost like someone was too worried about what other people thought or what other people think. I feel like you could have been in a relationship with a person who hid you, basically, or maybe hid the relationship or wasn't kind of sharing it with people in your life. For others, Gemini, you always have these cards that represent like jealousy from other people, so I feel like you could be dealing with that, but that Queen of Wands is you being bold, you being assertive. And Queen of Wands does ask you to be bold, be assertive, and to stand up for yourself. The good news is we have the World, so it's like you're clearly ending a cycle here. I feel like asking why for some reason, so let's clarify this, and let's ask why, why is this cycle ending? Which isn't a question I would normally ask, but let's see here. You have the Fool, because there's a new beginning. Again, every single reading I've done this week, it's crazy. Every single reading I've done this week has been about some sort of leap of faith or new beginning. So it's like you're moving towards something new. You have the High Priestess here. I get the sense here that you're more willing to just see what's out there, is like the words that I'm getting on the High Priestess. High Priestess represents, trusting your intuition. It can represent mysteries. It can represent secrets as well. And I do feel there could be a secret being revealed here, which we're going to dig into in just a second, Gemini. But I do feel like there could be kind of like some sort of truth that is coming out here. And it's like something is being revealed to you. But the High Priestess, I get this more, the best way I could describe this first row as well is that I get like more of a carefree energy where it's like you're just willing to like experience life. And maybe that doesn't sound like an important message, but I feel like it is, because it's like there's this certain releasing of resistance that I'm feeling in your life here in this first row. It's like you're more carefree, which I feel like is like it's like allowing you to open up to many different opportunities. Yeah, you have the King of Swords here, very direct, very straightforward energy. Remember what I said? at the beginning with that Queen of Wands. It's almost like you're just being very, like, you're just not caring anymore. Zero F's given, right, Gemini? And I feel like because of that, you're like being more direct, straightforward. You're gaining more authority as well. Kind of like a little bit of a side message here. If you're dealing with something legal, King of Swords plus the Justice card, same row, is law and order. So I feel for some of you, if you're dealing with a legal situation or anything that requires rebalancing, this would definitely be law and order coming in for you. In your next row here, you have the Truth Be Told card. I do feel a truth coming out here. You have this exchange. I asked in my head, what is this truth? What's going on here? You have this exchanging gifts card here as well. This is like closure, is what I would say. I feel like the gift is a gift from the universe. It's like the universe is saying, it's time for you to move on from something maybe that has been burdening you for a long time. Oh, and it's like the gift that you're receiving is being the truth. It's like closure that's coming in for you here as well. I'm kind of getting two messages here, which is interesting. For some of you, I feel like this is more a literal truth from a person that sets you free, kind of leads to closure. For others, I feel like it's a more personal truth where it's like you've been trying to make a decision, and it's almost like the universe is like saying, no, this is the right decision for you to make. So it's like you're no longer being burdened by a decision. You could be trying to choose between two jobs, two people, two businesses, two whatever. Doesn't matter. It's going to be different for all of you. But going from the Ten of Wands to the Justice card, justice is cause and effect. It just says, what is meant to work is going to work. Because it is a card that says if you stack things on one side of the scale, you're going to see a return of energy. So it's like whatever is meant to work for you is just going to work, plain and simple, with that justice energy. So I like this. You have the Ten of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Six of Wands here. You've been on a long journey, I feel, with the Six of Wands. I just freaking love this deck. To me, the imagery is just like on point, and especially, when we think about maybe like the deeper meanings of some of the cards. Six of Wands, the guy that is traditionally in the Six of Wands, has been to war, and he's coming back from war. He has been on a long journey. He's being celebrated, but he's still experiencing burdens because he was at war. He experienced loss. So it's like you're being celebrated, and I feel like this is the loss, the burdens of everything that you have been through for quite a long time. The Four of Cups is just like, I'm getting same old story on this card. It's like I feel like you've experienced the same old story in relationships, business, whatever. And I feel like you just haven't been manifesting exactly what you desire for, quite a long time here, Gemini. And it's like you've been hoping for, kind of like, brighter days, better days is what I'm kind of like getting here. But let's dig into this here, Gemini, and let's see where this row is going. You have two cards here. I love it. Ace of Swords and the Magician popping up on this Ten of Wands. The Magician is pointing towards the Justice card, and the Ace of Swords is a card of truth. So there's definitely a truth. It's like a truth is setting you free in a lot of ways. Not only that, the Magician is a new beginning, and the Magician is a card of needing to take action on something. So in a lot of ways, I feel that you need to take action towards the Justice card. In a lot of ways as well, the Justice card just says take the first step. It's like, anything that you want to start, just take the first smallest step. If it works, keep going. If it doesn't work, stop. And that's pretty much what the Justice card says. You have the Seven of Swords here. Yeah, I feel like, like I said, I feel like there's potentially an uncomfortable truth. It's, this is why I always tell people to be careful, like wanting closure. Because it's like if your ex comes to you and says, I cheated on you with your mom, your cousin, and your best friend, it's like, do you really want to hear that? Do you really want to know that? The answer is probably no. You probably don't want to know that. So, I do feel like there is a truth coming out. You could be seeing someone's true colors. I kind of feel good about this. He has polka dots all over his shirt here. And polka dots in the tarot represent not taking things too seriously. But I feel like I feel like the Seven of Swords is saying, it's like, okay, the truth is being revealed, but it's almost like you're not taking it too seriously. And you have the Hangman as well. Whenever I get Hangman in a row with truth, Hangman says you've put yourself on pause to hopefully get closure in a situation, and he is doing this to gain enlightenment. You have an enlightenment and enlightenment, purification, and the Queen of Wands. You have a lot of sun imagery in this deck. Right now on the table. You have the Strength card as well. So it is like kind of like you are being enlightened to some sort of truth. Having said that, whenever I get the hangman in a reading with, in a row, especially that is talking about the truth, to me, this could represent you always knowing the truth. So I don't know, just like confirmation, basically. It's like you always knew that something was going on, especially if this is in a love situation. For those of you, again, not interested in love, again, like I said, this is success coming in for you. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but again, if you're not interested in love, Seven of Swords just says don't try to do things on your own. Make sure you're paying attention as well. Next, you have the Five of Cups. Like I said, this is definitely going to be a disappointment. This truth that is coming out. For some of you, I feel like you already know. I feel like you already have experienced this truth, or you already know the truth of a situation, and it's probably going to be a little bit disappointing. But that's life, right? With the Five of Cups, and yeah, you have the Moon. Like I said, some of you could be dealing with a Pisces as well. High Priestess, Hangman, the Moon. Every single Pisces card here. But for others, I feel like you need to realize this is just a temporary period of time. The Moon is a card of fears, illusions, fantasies, but it's also just temporary. The Moon comes up, the Moon goes down. So whatever you're going through, I feel like it is temporary. You have the Justice card, the Strength card, and the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like you're more careful at this time. Justice, like I said, is cause and effect. It's like, if I do this, what do I get from it, right? It's like, I don't think you're looking at life like that, but I do feel you're looking at all situations in life and saying, is the juice worth the squeeze, as I love saying. I feel like I said that to you recently in one of your recent readings with the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is a card of analysis, and Justice is cause and effect. It's like, if I do X amount of work, what are the results I receive? If I put X amount of energy into a relationship, what do I get back? These are the questions that you're asking yourself here. I don't think you're creating transactional relationships. I feel like you're just making sure to give and balance here. For some of you with that Strength card here, it's almost like I feel like you give too much, or, it's like maybe you're realizing that the problem is you in a way. I'm not calling you out here, Gemini, but I'm just saying, like, maybe you're realizing that you always, come in too hot, right? You're coming in hot into every relationship. Maybe you come in expecting too much and you realize that. So it's not that I don't think you're kind of like getting rid of those expectations or hopes and desires in relationships. It's almost like you're just like, I feel like you're kind of like, it's almost like you're stretching things out. So I feel like it's not like you're expecting less. I feel like you're putting less pressure on the other person, because I kind of see this last row as a realization in love, where it's almost like you are realizing that I feel like you're realizing your part in relationships. It's like you're realizing the amount of pressure you put on the other person, whether it's unconscious or conscious. And it's kind of like you're stretching it out. And because it's like, there are certain things, like, I think it's ridiculous for people to say that they don't have, expectations in a relationship, right? Even me, I say that it's best to have no expectations, but it's hard not to have expectations as a human, right? So I think we need to do these things in balance with the Justice card. And I feel like we should have expectations. Of course, there are certain things we want in a relationship, right? Let's be honest. But, here, I feel like you're just kind of like stretching it out. It's like you're kind of letting the other person off the hook. You're giving them more time. So this, I'm referring to future new relationships here that you're going to be doing this in. So I definitely like that. For others, I feel this for all of you, no matter what. For all of you, I feel that there's more balance coming in financially here, which we're going to take a look at right now here, Gemini. So let's see, what is this financial balance? Yeah, Six of Swords here. I like this for years. Gemini, you have been getting these messages of like dealing with challenges at work, like gossip, jealousy, or even just not having the job you desire. And this to me is a correction. Yeah, you have the Ten of Swords as well. Ten of Swords is a difficult card, definitely leaving something behind, but it is a card of something being dead, done, over with. But it's like you're leaving something behind here. And the Hierophant graduating is what I would say here. Sometimes I think the Hierophant represents going through 3 stages. He has 3 levels to his crown here. So it kind of says that you have experienced a lesson in your life like 3 times. And it's like now you're finally ending that lesson with this Ten of Swords energy. I do want to get more kind of details on this Ten of Swords, so let's just see what this is trying to say. Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor, so definitely could be new love coming in for you, especially if you're getting some sort of truth and you're moving on to someone new. You have the Fool, new beginning. Everybody's getting the Fool this week. It's crazy. Literally, I have like 4 more people to do this week, so I've done a majority of the readings, and pretty much everybody has had the Fool this week, so definitely you taking a leap of faith towards something new. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles, Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles, I'm getting the word balance on. Like I said, I feel like you're being maybe a little bit more balanced in entering into a relationship. It's like you're taking your time a little bit more. You're kind of like waiting to see things, as they see things as they come in. I kind of feel like saying it's almost like you're setting these certain markers in relationships where it's like if the person meets a certain standard, it's like then you're going to keep moving forward, It's kind of weird, but I feel like it's fine. I feel like it'll work, plain and simple. For others, I feel this is just like something saving the day, probably like a new job. Yeah. 10 of Cups, fortune after difficulty. Definitely a solid relationship coming in for you, for those of you looking. You have the Strength card again here. I feel like you need to be patient. And the Empress, yep. So glow up energy and also total abundance as well. Very empowering energy in this last row. So I feel like you're becoming more empowered as well. I wouldn't worry about leaving something behind, especially, if there's some sort of truth that comes out. But this looks pretty good is what I would say to you, Gemini. I like it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week. Make sure to like, subscribe. Really appreciate all the support. But thank you, Gemini, and definitely enjoy your week.